Hello, everybody. It is Saturday Night Live. How are you tonight? How was your Saturday? Tell me about your day. Hey, happy Saturday, Kitty. How you doing tonight? Good to have you here with us, live on this Saturday night. Self-Care Sunday Eve, it is. Self-Care Sunday Eve. Cheers to you, Kitty. I know you got the Blue Mountains there. I will have a beer concoction tomorrow night, Super Bowl night. But tonight I got a martini. How are you tonight? What is happening in Illinois tonight? Do I have glasses tonight? I got glasses. All right. Yay! I'm glad you had a good day of sales. We were decent, not spectacular, but we moved a lot of merchandise, so we had a lot of stuff go. Actually, if I add in online what we sold online, we had a really good day. But that's great. I'm glad you had a good day. Actually, somebody bought a brand new sofa online too that came in. So that's a nice addition that I'm not even counting in my mental number of sales. So that is okay. They sizzled it, so I'm okay with that too. Sold at full price, I'm okay with that. But I'm glad to have you on here on Saturday Night Live, Super Bowl Eve edition. Who you going for tomorrow night? You rooting for one or the other? The snow held off until late. Super cold though. Yeah, it felt really cold tonight. I mean, I went and moved the cars. I went and watched the weather forecast when I got home and online, and they were still running this morning's forecast talking about how it could change. And I'm like, well, that's not doing me any good. Knowing what you thought at 6 o'clock this morning. And I'm like, what are you doing to me? So I, for safety's sake, we have a side lot, area of our house where we can park cars that's out of the way of the main driveway. So if we have to get plowed or anything, it keeps that area clear. And so I moved all the cars there tonight, and it was cold. But obviously, if it's going to snow some, it's going to warm up. I'm hoping tomorrow's the end of our progressive clearance sale, so I'm hoping that the weather holds off till later. The weatherman is a 50-50 guy. He is. So I'm just like, and they want you to tune in. They want you to tune in to hear what they're going to say next, and that's not my kind of thing. So, we'll see. But I'm going to have, my goal is to have a more chill day tomorrow. We worked today and have more of a chill day tomorrow. Hey, Deanne in Arizona. 77 in Arizona. Show off. My sister who's up from Texas, helping take care of my cousin in Pennsylvania. It's like, okay, I'm out of here before the snow. I've seen more snow than I have since I was a little girl in upstate New York. I'm out of here. I'm headed back to Texas tonight before Pennsylvania gets any more snow. She said her boys need her. I'm not sure her boys know that she's even left the house. But that's what my sister did. Left my poor cousin. Okay? Poor cousin had brain surgery, and she just left her. Yeah, you're fine. Hey, Adele and Dazzle are here. How are you tonight? Great to have you here. Hopefully all is well in Michigan. Maybe warming up. Is it warming up again in Michigan yet? Cold Illinois. Hey, Marianne. Well, I know it's cold there, but your heart is warm, so that's all that matters. Great to have you here tonight, Marianne. Hey, Rick, how are you? I know it's nice in South Carolina, or at least relative to other parts of the country. Great to have you here tonight live. Great to have everybody here. Well, I am told this broadcast is standing between my peanut gallery and leftover cake. My peanut gallery and leftover cake is what this broadcast is standing between. So let's get this party started, because it was Nana's birthday yesterday. She successfully made another trip around the sun, and we celebrated Nana yesterday, and there is leftover both birthday cake and carrot cake. Nana's a carrot cake fan, so we have birthday cake and carrot cake. Below zero wind chill. Ugh. Now that just makes me cold. We were just sitting in our sunroom and said it was cold. So, I mean, we just had dinner in the sunroom. So, there was no sun shining tonight. But, you know, it is going later in the day. So, I mean, you know, the sun is staying up later in the day. It was, I had to get the sunglasses out on the way home for part of the ride. Part of the ride home. Yes, well, there usually isn't either in our house, but we buy big cakes. You got to keep in mind, Marianne, we supersize it. Hey, Krita, how are you? See, I like the carrot cake frosting, but I'm not a big carrot cake person. But I'll eat the frosting. And, you know, Rebecca's a big cake person. She doesn't eat the frosting, but now we have Zeke, so Zeke eats her frosting. I don't get Rebecca's leftover frosting anymore, so, you know, I'm just replaced like that. You know, I used to get the leftover frosting, now I don't. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start it. Let's get this party started tonight. We're on page 136. I'm assuming my audio is better tonight. I tried something different. I went with my headset microphone, and nobody's complained so far. So I assume audio is good tonight, which is great to hear. No complaints is a good thing, right? I mean, I know I shouldn't even ask for complaints, but no complaints is a good thing. Hello, Kim from Texas. I'm sending my sister back to you. My sister is on her way back. Hey, Kelly, with the day off. You go, girl. You go. Congratulations. That's what I'm looking at tomorrow. I was like looking at my piles on my desk, and I'm like, you know, that can wait till Monday. I'm gonna try to chill tomorrow and not do any work. Not that there's no work to be done, but I'm going to try not to do any work. We've already had one person call out and one person cover, so tomorrow, with the last day of our clearance sale, our progressive clearance, you know, it's good to know that we have all the coverage in place so we can move out lots of old stuff and lots of our mistakes. And we'll talk about that for a second. Hang on a second. We're on page 136 tonight in the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is where we're at. Good morning. And this is perfect. No exact recipe for today. Gather all available ingredients and whip yourself up something delicious. Well, isn't that good for Self-Care Sunday Eve? Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to chill. I got to catch up with fam. I got a lot of long, you know, Sunday is, you know, we call it Self-Care Sunday. I also call it Sibling Sunday. It's when I catch up with my siblings, because they seem to only have those phones that can receive calls, not make them. And I've been good about it. You know, it was always something in my father's. My kids won't know each other, or they won't know what's going on in each other's lives. And my kids won't know each other. And that was always a concern of my father's, because he grew up where everybody was together. And so, you know, I've made it my thing in my parents' passing to have Sibling Sunday, where we check in on everybody. And part of that is like from growing up when long distance calls were cheaper on Sunday after a certain time or whatever. But part of it is just have a check-in, as a Jewish mother would say, make sure you're not in a ditch on the side of the road. How would I know if you were in a ditch on the side of the road? But you just check in with everybody, and I got to check in with a couple of my aunts and stuff like that tomorrow too. So I've got a busy family phone day tomorrow is what everybody decided at dinner. I'm going to have a lot of hours on the phone tomorrow, which is okay. I mean, I love to talk, and it's good to check in with family and be there. So there you go. But and there's plenty to do. There's plenty to do at my desk, and I'm going to try to do my best to avoid it and avoid the death scroll of Facebook and all the other messages that I have. And I've got an office day scheduled for Monday because I have doctor's appointments with Nana in the morning on Monday, and then I have the rest of the day scheduled at my desk. Well, it's important. You gotta check in with people. People need connection now more than ever during this pandemic. We talk about it during this pandemic. We talk about connection and connecting with people. But they need it all the time. You want to connect with people, and you want to know what's going on. I have this good friend who's actually on my call list for this week. We see each other in normal times. We see each other a couple times a year. Okay. I go visit with her when I go to my dentist. Okay. My dentist is in New Hampshire. We tend to have lunch, which goes all afternoon. So I have an 11 o'clock dentist appointment. Then we have lunch, and it goes till 5 or 6 o'clock. They kick us out. We tip really, really well when we do one of these lunches, and we just sit there and catch up. But I haven't talked to her, and so she's on my list for this week. So you gotta catch up with people. You gotta connect. That is so important. And you gotta respect in these times. You gotta respect everybody's bubble. You really have to respect everybody's bubble. It's hard, It is. It is so hard. I was talking tonight to one of my team members, and I'm like, really, you got to get tested again? I mean, you're like, I have 3 team members that are racing to have been tested the most in our company. I think they're all trying to one up each other as having to come in contact and needing to be tested. That's okay, Kim. I'm okay with that. You're having ERTC Sunday, and feel free to email me, and I'll reply on Monday. I'm whittling down my email list. My email list is whittled down. I think I'm below 50 right now. But if you have questions, I'm going to try to avoid being on email tomorrow. But I am happy to be help you with anything if you come up with any questions on that. But I say put the ERTC for a lot of people in the back seat because the PPP for so many, the ERTC is not time sensitive. It's real money, okay? It's real money, and I don't want to diminish the time sensitiveness of real money, but there's not a rush or a max out, okay? As long as the government has money, there'll be money to pay out the ERTC. As long as the government can print money, there's not a cap on that. Where there is a time limit on the PPP round 2. So I want everybody that's eligible for that or thinks they might be eligible for that to get that taken care of because that's so important because it's incredibly time sensitive. I'm expecting a big jump this week. I had some talks with the SBA yesterday. I've lost track of days, but let's call it yesterday. So I'm expecting that in their weekly report, there's going to be another big chunk of money that has been spent of that. So far, about a quarter of the money as of last week had been spent, but I'm expecting a decent sized jump this week. Maybe it'll bring us up to a third of the money, 40% or so. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, Julie. Congratulations. I'm not surprised welcome to the program, Julie, that your PPP got funded. I talked to some people the other day and said, essentially, my message is I'm all good. There's going to be fraud. I mean, I've talked about this before. There's fraud out there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts that there's fraud out there. But overwhelmingly, the majority of businesses are completely legitimate and completely well, hey, see, my talking to people actually does some good, because I was like, you need to get this money out, okay? And what I've been talking to people about is yes, there is fraud. I have no problem admitting that there's going to be fraud. To say that there's not, but it's more important to get this out quickly and deal with the fraud on the backside. Deal with the people that are scum on the backside. There are always going to be scum, and let's bring them out and deal with that. I have no problem with that. But the majority of this money is going to businesses that are helping. Well, that's an interesting point, Kitty. Kitty's asking that Biden's plan includes more money to help small businesses. And yes, in the headlines it does. The problem is with Biden's plan, and it's not a problem yet, is that the details have yet to be written. Okay, the details have yet to be written. And you have and that's what they're doing now. The budget reconciliation process that they're initiating to make this happen and to do this with a simple majority in the Senate and to get the plan passed is now been sent to committee to write up the details. So the details don't really exist. I mean, I have a couple of drafts of details that are very, very loose drafts. I'm not sure what it's really going to mean. My concern of what it means, Kitty, is that it is going to be more targeted to what they believe are underserved markets. Okay? Part of this whole, there is disparity. I won't deny it. Okay? There is disparity. I have worked with people that are disparity. I mean, one example, it's good to be hopeful, Kitty. It's good to be hopeful, but I don't have details for you. I think their goal is to help, I think, what they deem as underserved. Minorities, low-income areas, and some other things that they say are getting the short end of the stick. Part of the reason these areas are getting the short end of the stick is because they aren't helped on the front end of a business. Okay, and they need more support to understand these things and to understand what is available to them. And just making money available isn't making those resources available. And I'll give you an example. There is a Chinese restaurant in our area that is a long-standing Chinese restaurant, a very long-standing. It's on its second owner in, let's call it 60 years, okay, or something. And the current owners owned it for a long time. It's not like they picked it up last week. But they thought because of this they had to close down because of all the restrictions and everything else. They couldn't figure out how to get the PPP. There was a language barrier. There were issues. And until their landlord and a local bank stepped up to say, hey, let's get somebody that can speak the language, let's talk this out and figure out how to save this and get you the PPP and help you use it correctly, it's hard. It's hard. So I'm concerned about the So in Biden's plan on the surface, I'm concerned about the overwhelming push to the what they're calling underserved, because some of us they would call served, okay, served versus underserved, but there's still a need, okay, there's still a gap to get us back to where we were. So I'm optimistic, okay? It is ultimately good. I still believe it is ultimately good, the amount of money they are trying to put out to help the economy, to also sustain the economy to when most people think it will start to resemble something of normal. Okay, as I talked about yesterday, the Congressional Budget Office says the economy will be back to where it was a year ago, January, this summer. Most people, though, okay, that is just an economic headline. That is not the details of it. And most people would view this economy, until you get people back to work, okay, until you get the kids back in school, you're not going to have any sense of normal in this economy. Yes, people are still going to do some remote working, but they're also going to do office working. And you want to be able to go to Panera or Starbucks and have a meeting, okay? Until we're in better control of things, that's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen if we can't get parents back to work. I mean, this has devastated the whole female workforce. I mean, this has just destroyed it as they have stayed home caring for the kids. There are so many economic things, but it will be an economic milestone if we can get next fall that all the schools are open, okay, or overwhelmingly schools are open, and then offices can start to reopen, okay, and that people start going back to work at least some of the time. Then you will see all the supporting businesses that are around that start to open up. If you go into any of the cities, if you went into Chicago, or if you went into downtown Spring, you're right there at the Capitol. So, all the offices and all the restaurants and all the hot dog carts and everything else that support these things and businesses, are non-existent right now. And so we need to get all of this going. And it's hard, I was excited to see, the restaurant that's closed, that's below my home decor store, that's been closed for months now, was making some meals for Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow. Okay, it was doing some takeout packages or doing something or some catering for it, which I'm thankful for. I smelled the restaurant when I was in there today. But so much of that needs to get going, and so many of those. It's just the pandemic's not over. The economic harm that isn't over. So I'm hopeful, and I'm certainly having conversations, and I'm certainly involved with the folks there in Washington. Like my friend Sonia says, she doesn't say about Washington, but I'll take her phrase that she explains her father with to explain Washington. Washington can complicate a ham sandwich, and that's from a Jewish guy. So, ham sandwich just rolls off the tongue easier than peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I guess. But, they tend to complicate things. And so they have the best intentions. But I remain optimistic in this. And you have a lot of good people at the table that know it's better to do more than to do less right now. So, Secretary Yellen, and others in the administration. And one of the drafts has the $15 minimum wage dropped out of it for which was originally part of the $1.9 trillion plan and left to do something else with. They wanted to get education thrown in their student loan forgiveness, and that's getting in the most recent draft gets thrown to the side. So we'll see. I will keep you up to date on what I know, but that's the long-winded version of what I know. How's that? And I am trying to keep my ear to it all the time. So, you know what tomorrow is, folks? You know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is Self-Care Sunday. It's the day we've set aside. Okay, you thought I was going to say the Super Bowl. No, tomorrow is Self-Care Sunday. It's the day we set aside every week, so that you take a time out, time for you, time to recuperate, time to refill your pitcher. Time because you're giving out to everybody else all the time. It's time every week that we say, hey, stop, pause, time out, take time for you. Take time for you. It is a super self-care Sunday. It is a super self-care Sunday. And with Self-Care Sunday, and I know not everybody can do it on Sunday. I mean, I'm even impressed that as of right now, fingers crossed, to have tomorrow off. With our big final push on our clearance sale, extra 50% off online and in store. You know that we're doing it, and but it's so important that you take time every week. I don't care if it's Sunday. This is a marathon, people. This is a marathon. I've told you that since the beginning. This is not a sprint. So we can't use all your energy up. You have to recharge. You have to recharge. You have to take time to recharge. And Sunday is our symbol for that. If you have to do it on Tuesday, that is okay. I'm okay with you doing it on Tuesday. But just take the time each week for you to refill your pitcher. Every week, since this began, we fill the Resale Strong Cookbook. The Resale Strong Cookbook has been part of our way that we have navigated our way through this all. Is with the Resale Strong Cookbook. Baking a little bit, cooking a little bit each week, filling our bellies, filling our souls a little bit each week. And this week is no different. I have 2 recipes, okay? 2 super recipes for you this week that are Super Bowl inspired. What did I do with the glass? Oh, there they are. Again, this set's got too many spots for me to put things down. So I have got, okay, not just dip, but pizza dip. A dip that's pizza. Pizza dip. Okay? Total time about 30 minutes. Pizza dip. Okay, and cheesy monkey bread, okay? It's about the food, people, tomorrow. It's about the food. So, pizza dip and cheesy monkey bread. That'll be up at Nart's private Facebook group within the hour. I think it's about 15 minutes away from that hitting the site. It'll go up there about 9 o'clock. It'll be over at narts.org/resalestrong, REC. Resale Strong REC is the direct link to the Resale Strong cookbook, and it'll be up there by noon tomorrow. Yes, it will. narts.org/resalestrong REC. It's where you can see all the recipes. You know, you can find a recipe. I mean, this is the end of week 46-47. The end of week 46-47. There are a lot of recipes in that Resale Strong cookbook for you to find. If you're looking for a great recipe for your Super Bowl night, you can find it there. Yes, you can. narts.org/resalestrong REC. It's an amazing cookbook. Oh, Kim, thank you. Everything that I talk about goes over to narts.org/resalestrong by noon the next day. Noon, I tell you. It's an amazing time. That everything gets over there by noon. Thank you to Cassandra and Adele for making all that happen. They get all the files. They get the videos there. I mean, Cassandra makes all these notes. I mean, those videos are searchable. You can search by notes of what I talked about if there's some topic you want to talk about. And follow, or you need to rehear something. It's all right there on the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when another one drops. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I am here live in the Nards private Facebook group every night at More 8 Than Ish. More 8 Than Ish live every night. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. That's also where you can send me your favorite recipe, so you can be the recipe of the week. The recipe of the week, yes, you can be that. You just got to email it to me, and you can be the star of the Resale Strong Cookbook that week. We start this program every night, with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program. Our friend, Lin-Manuel Miranda, less than 6 degrees of separation, I'm telling you, less than 6 degrees. He still doesn't have a clue who we are, but we like his book. Tonight we're on page 136, if you were not here at the beginning. Good morning. No exact recipe for today. Gather all the available ingredients and whip yourself up something delicious. Our good night tonight, maybe from the Resale Strong Cookbook. Our good night tonight is, good night. You whipped up a great day out of all available ingredients. Feast on the leftovers, reminisce, enjoy where you've been. That is so important. Enjoy your accomplishments. Enjoy where you've been today. Enjoy all that you've done. Don't focus on all the stuff you haven't. I mean, I talked about this yesterday. I talked about it at dinner yesterday. You know, I had a couple of things yesterday that really pissed me off, but I accomplished so much yesterday. I accomplished so much. And, but those couple things that just gnawed at you, that you didn't get, don't let that. Look at your accomplishments, people. Look at your accomplishments. There's your graphics for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a super-de-duper party on a certain Sunday in February. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I will be there with you. Yes, I will. But until then, and until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, but most importantly yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for leftover cake. See you tomorrow.